she replied, tugging at the hem of the white dress. It barely covered her knees. It had seen better days as her mother's wedding dress and her grandmother's wedding dress before that. Taken up, let out, taken in, re-hemmed, re-seamed, and now wreathed in a bit of an old white net curtain to hide the frayed and stained satin underskirt. "I mean it, I don't like this get-up, ma'am," moaned Peg. "Ah, yes you do, you love it," replied Moira. "Surely to God today will be that dress's final outing," Grammy Nora said, sharing her unwanted thoughts on the matter. There were more arguments over where they would all sit at church, and what should be done with baby Jimmy, and where they should put the jam and sugar butties to keep them cool and stop them from curling. But all these vexations were forgotten when Da, noticing 4-year-old Sheila was having her own heated conversation with one of the chickens that had come in from the yard, scooped his youngest daughter up and plonked her on the table out of harm's way. When he was done with chasing out the clucking hen, all flapping and feathers, making Philomena, who was 9, sneeze loudly, and Sheila yelp, and little 3-year-old Peter giggle, he kissed Peggy and told her how pretty she looked in a dress. "Come on, kids, we best be off then." "Can I be an angel?" asked Sheila, beaming as she scrambled off the table, crashing into the dresser as she jetted across the room, wrapped up in white netting. She pulled at the ruffles of her ma's skirt. "Can I be the Virgin Mary? Can I wear this veil?" "You can, love," replied her mother. "It's not a fancy dress party, it's church," said Gram, squashing her hat onto her head and pursing her lips. She looked at herself in the mirror and rubbed away the pink lipstick marks from her teeth, making little squeaking noises with her finger. "She can if she wants. Peg's refusing to." "Right then, let's go. It's half an hour's walk to Holy Cross and we're already late." They set off down the hill in the sunshine, but not before someone realised they had forgotten the baby. "I thought our Brendan had him," cried Moira, running back to get chubby Jimmy out of the pram in the yard where he was still snoozing. They headed off again towards Scotty Road, all gleaming white gloves, summer dresses, white socks, all bobbing and skittering and swinging and twirling of rosary beads, picking up random stones and chucking them. "I bloody crown you if you get those dresses mucky. Brendan, Phil, get down off that wall now." People washing their steps sat back on their heels, wiped their foreheads and smiled. Others leaned out of windows to see what the commotion was and waved. They were a sight, all right. The O'Sheas. Philomena and Sheila, with their wild, untamed curls, who dressed identically and finished each other's sentences. And Brendan, with his father's short, muscular legs and long body. Peter being dragged along by Dennis, and distinctive, feral Peggy, with her curtains of fly-away hair, poker straight now, and hanging limply about her shoulders. "Those O'Sheas from Feather Street," people would say. "Oh, they're trouble. And the skinny one with the upturned nose and face full of freckles is the worst, that Peggy girl. You want to watch her," they would whisper, raising their eyes as if to suggest some secret. "Irish as a peat bog, and mouths on 'em like the Mersey Tunnel, that lot." The church was full by the time they got there, and Mass had already started. There was much make way, butch up, and shuffling and squeezing through the 4-strong throng of men who lined the walls at the back, and "It's the O'Sheas late again, always late," and tutting, and loud sighs and riposts of "We're here, aren't we? Move, Peg coming through." A wide-hipped nun swept forward and grabbed Peggy by the arm, pinching her flesh. "Peggy O'Shea, I said you needed to be here half an hour early," she snapped, shoving her in the back. "Get up there with the..."